All right, Nick. Back in our element. Back in my element, I should say. That's probably what I should say. Back in my element. You've been in your element. Me, not so much. But I'm glad to be back. Happy to be back. Just need 3 outs here.
Lucas Sims.
Yeah. I was looking up the old bullpen resource here for those that are wondering. 24 pitches, obviously, yesterday for Alexis Diaz. 18 pitches the day prior. So we're going to go with the fresh guy in Lucas Sims, who's not thrown since Wednesday, and that was the only day he threw this entire week. So 17 pitches on the 5th, and here we are on the 8th. So
heart of the order, Morel.
Oh, yeah.
Morel, Bellinger, Swanson.
Gonna have to earn this one. This is a big league save.
Yeah. Yep. Now I see why Cruz pitched for a 4th time in 5 days.
Yeah.
Because Diaz was unavailable. Because I was like, why is Cruz pitching again?
I also think that they just Cruz feels like a cheat code, so they're like, hey, Cruz, are you sure?
I'm good, coach.
Yeah.
Fernando, brother, you're trying to earn yourself a contract here, man. Don't blow out that arm. Appreciate your efforts, but jeez. All right, I gotta get this on Twitter. Chatterbox.
I am so nervous for this inning.
I'm just gonna type in.
It's just felt like this whole game we've been just dodging bullets left and right, man.
Yep.
But I will openly admit that it feels like we deserve a few of these games. It feels like we deserve a few of these because when we were at the depths of it, as I've said before, it felt like these are the ones that we just could never find a way to win, and hopefully it all evens out. We will find out here soon.
Oh wow, he may just he's got Wilson up too.
I just want strikes, Nick.
Wilson would maybe be for Hap if it gets
strikes.
Jeez, little beats. Lucas.
Brutal. I did not fix the hole in my wall back there. It's not going to get fixed till basically the end of the year. No reason. Ground ball away, chat. Likes. We need some likes and a ground ball away. Come on. Come on. Come on, Lucas. You're a good pitcher. Come on. That's a double play shift. Throw it.
Oh.
Yeah, it's a tough double play, but I will admit that that's a base hit. At least a base hit, Nick. It's a big out. It's a big out. Not going to act like it's not. Now, I would have liked a better throw from my second baseman.
Ellie almost made that play. Can you?
Now, to be fair, I think
look at him having to turn away. I mean,
yeah, I don't know. It would have. I don't think it would have mattered either way, but yeah. I don't think Ellie had to spin 100%. It was like in between on spinning and not spinning. Whatever. It's an out. I'm not going to complain about outs, okay? I can't do it. Would I have liked to have the double play? Yes. Would I have liked a better throw? Yes. I'm not going to complain about it because he got the lead runner. Can someone tell him just to not do that? Well, we're not throwing the ball over to Spencer Steer at first base unless we have to. That's with all respect, of course.
With all due respect.
We're a ground ball away from another double play, chat. Likes, please.
And this is Lucas Sims' last batter. Nap's got massive splits.
Just hit a ground ball right to Jonathan India right there, please.
Maybe to Ellie.
Yeah, but I was thinking if it's to Ellie, then he has to flip it to India. I'll be honest.
No, taking himself to the bag right to him.
Well, now we're being greedy. I was just all right.
I'm being greedy.
You want it to be perfect, then yeah, maybe a step to Ellie's left. God, these breaking balls, they don't look sharp, but maybe it's just me being nervous. Man, this feels good again. This is like a drug. Doesn't it feel like when a batter takes their time out, you should, if you're mentally tough enough to do this, step in there right now and just wait the full 13 seconds. Just make him melt in the box before you throw it.
Yeah.
Double play. No, he was. Why was he?
He was covering. They sent the runner.
He was stealing.
Yep.
Really?
That's tough. I think he was right there, wasn't he?
He was right there, though, Nick.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure. Oh my God, he was right.
Oh no, he was shifted.
Oh, he was going to the bag, but I don't know. He might have made a play.
Maybe he would have. Maybe he would have knocked it down. That probably would have been the best case.
All right, this wasn't going to be easy. Okay, chat. We kind of knew this. Kind of knew this. And I'm not. Would I have liked strikes? Yeah, nice. I like bringing this guy in.
Casey's on the ones and twos on Twitter, and he got a great screenshot. We're live now with you covering your head. Shout out Casey.
No.
It's good. I mean, it's an engaging screenshot. That's good stuff, Casey.
Chat, we're one ground ball away, okay? Like, let's positive vibes. I also want to freely say we're going to find a way to win this game in the bottom if we can, if somehow there's a sack fly or something like that. Well, you just need outs, okay? Let's not cannibalize ourselves in here right now.
Likes for double plays.
Yeah. I know people are asking for the glasses. I just don't think that those are meant for anyone other than Alexis. I thought about it, but all right, let's get ahead of this now. The reason the reason Sims was in there, for those that are wondering that are just jumping in the chat, is simply put, pitch count. Said it right when we came on air, but Fernando Cruz threw 24 pitches last night. He threw 18 pitches the day before. Whether you want to believe that or like that or not, I that's up to you.
You mean Diaz? You mean Diaz?
Diaz threw those. What'd I say?
I think you said Cruz, unless I misheard you.
Maybe I didn't.
I don't know.
Whatever. Regardless. Yeah, I mean, he threw 24 pitches yesterday. That's what happened. I mean, that's all there is to it. And he threw 18 pitches the day prior to that. You have a guy in Lucas Sims who's been pretty decent all year long. Threw 17 pitches this entire week. And I just want to say, I'm not trying to defend Sims, but he faced the heart of their order, man. Like, he did walk somebody. Here we go. I'm locking it back in. I need a ground ball from this guy. Not going to call him names.
No one you love seeing more than Ian Happ in a spot like
Well, Ian Happ, at least we know he's not been good left-hand or against left-handed pitching. I'm not trying to jinx it, but
I'm not saying anything against.
Don't you think water finds its level, Nick? Like, this guy is not a superstar. Let's double play, baby. Please.
Half his contract is because of what he did against the Reds.
Keep throwing over like that. Like, the guy's literally a half a foot off the base.
You take away his stats against the Reds, this guy's in the minor leagues right now. It's a 4A player. There you go.
That's a good pitch now. That's a good pitch. Come on. Can't look at the chat. Don't look at the chat. They'll ruin it every single time.
I don't have it up. I haven't even put it up.
Please. Make a pitch. Good pitch. Go get it. You got to catch this ball.
Yeah! That a boy, Tyler!
Baby.
Woo!
That's what I need, Steve. Needed that ball. I needed that catch.
Oh, what a play.
Good catch. Good catch, man. Love that.
Wow.
All right, where are we at?
Mike Talkman left on left.
They don't have anybody to pinch?
No,
I know that Pete Crow Armstrong was like one of their last guys. Whatever, this is it. Let's go. Got to get it done. Come on. Ooh, that was. One time, Nick. Yep, it's been a strike all day, brother. Been a strike all day. Throw it there again. Throw it out there again.
Yeah,
throw a little slider out there.
You're gonna call that a strike? I keep going out there.
Tyler Stephenson's got to be a wall if we're gonna throw something off speed here for me. Step off the mound. Call time. Someone call time. Someone call time. Pitch clock. Called. God, Tyler, I love you, but come on, man. He just made a great play. I'm not going to get on him, but somebody, it's like I seen that I'm coming a mile away. It's all right. Maybe it slowed Wilson's heart rate down a little bit. That's what we needed as a pitch clock violation. Kind of feels like if he can get inside, which again it's risky, but if he can get inside, he's gotten out. It's gotten out. Bang! We just stole that. Like, I can't wait. I can't wait to talk about it. I can't wait to talk about it, Nick. We just stole one from the Cubs. You can say whatever you want. Just straight up thieved it from them.
And a bench to bench. Change hit in the air to deep right field. Back goes Clemente. And the save. He's done. Get out of here, baseball. It's gone. Oh, my God. Can you believe it? Johnny Bench has tied it up. The Cincinnati Reds win the World Series in 4 straight. It was a sweep. In the dirt, it's a wild pitch. Here comes Walker. The Reds win the pennant. Perkins won the game. That ball is fair. Cincinnati's ahead. 2 games to none. Welcome, Joe Randa to Cincinnati. Adam Dunn has done it again. Benzinger backing and calling. And the 1990 World Championship belongs to the Cincinnati Reds.
Marty, yes. This is Adam from Milwaukee. Hey, Adam, how you doing? I'm good. How are you? Good. Do you think Scott Chatterbox is a good player?
Dunn up there with the bases loaded, the outfield deep and around toward right, and the 1-0 on the way to the plate. Swung on, long drive, right field, and this one belongs to the Reds.
And a high drive, hit back into deep right field. Junior has just knocked the door down to the 500 club.
Benson's first home run is a walk-off winner. That ball had a family.
And De La Cruz is, oh my goodness, look at this kid run. My, oh my, that is a triple.
Matt McClain's first big league bomb.
Spencer Steer's first big league hit is a home run to straightaway center field. Joey Votto's done it again.
The pitch. Votto swings high in the air. Right field. Yes! He pointed to the dugout to say I took
315th career go-ahead ribby. Only Johnny Bench had more as a Red.
And I can't tell you how much it means to play in front of everyone here in Cincinnati as a Red. What a gift. What a tremendous gift. So thank you. Thank you.
I think I can speak for all of Reds country. Joey Votto, thank you.
High drive, left center field, racing back to the Laurel Bourgeois. The Reds are National League Central Division champions. In the air, left center field. Did he? He did! He did! Reds win! Line to the right field. Genius, the first Red ever with 4 home runs in a game. Can you believe it? In the air, down the right field line. Does it have a chance? The Reds have won on a 3-run home run on opening day by Ramon Hernandez. A strike away and out away is Homer Bailey. Ground ball to third. Frazier gloves. Throw to first, and Homer Bailey, for the second time in his major league career, has tossed a no-hitter. Oh, gosh. Oh, are you kidding me? Holy Moses, the second player in major league history to hit 7 home runs in the first 10 games. In the air, and the Reds win. What a dream beginning to the career of Jay Bruce.
I can't tell you how big of a win that is. Now, I'm going to do my best over the next hour or whatever it is that we do this show for. Nick, we shouldn't have won that game. Now, I know people don't want to admit that, and that's fine. We finally got what I thought we rightfully deserved a month ago. We did. We caught some breaks. Did you see Andrew Abbott out there? Dude was dodging more bullets than somebody in Gary, Indiana, brother. And that's a lot of bullets if you're keeping track at home. Just saying, Nick.
There's a lot of fire emojis on the Cubs side of the StatCast scoreboard. Not a whole lot on the Reds. Total tally expected batting average. 311 for the Cubs, 201 for the Reds. Man, you hate to see it. You hate to see it.
I'm so excited and thrilled, and I just, when we were there 3-4 weeks ago, in my mind it was like, we have to do something special. We have to do something that is probably unrealistic to get back into a spot where we all feel relatively good, and they've done it. I mean, God's honest truth, they have done it. Now, if they do again tomorrow, which we'll get into that later in the show, I'm sure, it's an all-timer. But you're not, I mean, we reckon back and be like, 12 in a row, and that's all good and well. Like, that's great. But the fact, 7 in a row is not, that is not a slouch. Any stretch of the imagination, Nick.
Yeah, the 2019 Reds didn't win 7 in a row. 2020 Reds, they didn't win 7 in a row. 2021, they didn't win 7 in a row. And I'm assuming you can imagine the 2022 Reds didn't win 7 in a row. So look, 7 in a row that's a lot of wins. I think when you win 12 in a row, it kind of makes 7 in a row not feel as special, but it's a big deal. None of the other teams over the last 5 years have done this.
I mean, it's we're starting to play division games now. It felt like there were for an absolute month. We played nobody within our division. We watched the Brewers absolutely just get red hot and win a ton of baseball games. At the time, the Cubs were playing pretty well. You look back, what was it, about a week and a half ago, and you're literally dead last in the division. And not only that, you're also like 8 or 9 games out of the Central. And at that point, Nick, we openly admitted you might as well forget about the division. Like, you might as well just forget about it. We got to focus on the wild card at this point. And there was a stack of teams ahead of them in the wild card. You're not supposed to sweep anybody. Really. You're just not. The fact that they went into Coors, they did it there, and then they continue the momentum, which is the biggest fear that I had, Nick, is unbelievable. God bless America, man. God bless America. God bless the fallen. God bless everybody in this chat for hitting the like button. You might not think you made a difference, but by God, if you watch Lucas Sims throw the ball and Justin Wilson throw the ball, you made a difference. Screaming line drive to Spencer Steer to end the game was for every single like that you put on the board tonight. So thank you. Thank you. And thank you for supporting this show. Speaking of supporting the shows, I'm going to run through these supers about as fast as one can. Why? Because we have a baseball show to do. That's why people watch this show, Nick. They want to talk baseball. Some people come here for the chat, whether they think it's funny or whether they engage or however it is, but I'm not aware of that. All in Christ, thank Jesus Christ. 7 in a row. He just put 7. I assume he means 7 in a row. Mark Fetters, 7 in a row. Cubs stink. That's a fact. Big Red Machine, I'll tell you what, nobody loves the Big Red Machine more than me. 7 in a row. Tyler should get the save. Vibes of Johnny Bench. Whoa, brother. Whoa. ATOBTTR. If you don't know what that means, it means and this one belongs to the Reds. Let's go for 8. Anon76 says, Trace, just like last season, the excitement for the Fireball Rally is building. It's Saturday, too, and I don't work tomorrow. We'll get to that in just 1 second. Grant Harmon says, fly the L. Maybe I wish I had a little flag. That would be cool. Bryce Sizemore says, in my stone cold impression, oh, hell yeah. Reds make it 7 in a row. What a turnaround. James, what is it, James? James Dornsife said, we did steal this one. On the ropes all day, but stealing one is what keeps streaks alive. Go Reds. Shout out Ricky Karcher. Nobody made a streak more in danger than that man. Gabe K said, the Reds are your daddy, Chicago. Not singing your little song tonight, huh? And Peter Salmon said, tell the Cubs fans about the 988 hotline. I will right now. If you have any issues in Chicago, probably have more issues if you live in Chicago than just baseball games. But if you do, and you're watching baseball and you're sad about it, or you're not sad about baseball, you can always go to 988. Text, call, shout out 988. Mantherapy.org. Peter, thank you for reminding me. Nick, that's all I got. We have us a show to do, and there's so many little nooks and crannies in this baseball game that we could talk about. It'd be fun to see where it goes. So
yeah,
go ahead.
Yep, looking forward to talking about the Reds, hold a playoff spot, and also talking about the last place Chicago Cubs.
Oh, really? They're in last place?
They are in last place.
What's that mean, Nick?
The cellar.
Oh, they're in the bottom. Is that what you're saying?
Last place.
Wow.
All the way at the bottom. Tough place to be.
That's a tough spot to be. Hate to see that. Hate to hear that.
Good thing we got 988.
Yep. All right, Nick. Let's do the box score recap presented by Nick Kirby.
All right, Reds coming into Saturday on a season-high 6-game win streak. Andrew Abbott on the hill for the Reds up against Ben Brown for the Cubbies. Cubs scratched across a run in the top of the first off Abbott. Took a 1-0 lead. But then former Chicago Cub Jeimer Candelario evened up the score in the bottom of the first with his 9th home run of the season. Andrew Abbott pitched around runners in scoring position in the second and the third inning. And then in the bottom of the third, Jonathan India walked and TJ Friedl hit a 2-run home run to right field. Made it 3-1 Cincinnati. Abbott pitched around more runners on base in the 4th and the 5th. He survived through 5 innings, 5 hits, 1 run, 4 walks, 5 strikeouts. The Reds chased Ben Brown after just 4 innings. Then they got a big insurance run in the bottom of the 5th. Jonathan India singled. Will Benson laid down a sac bunt against a left-handed reliever. And then TJ Friedl had an RBI ground out, 4-1 Reds. Cubs got a run off Emilio Pagan in the top of the 6th to make it 4-2. Cubs got another run off of Fernando Cruz in the top of the 8th to make it 4-3. Cruz was, however, able to strand the tying run on third base. Cruz pitching for the 4th time in 5 days. Reds hung on to a 4-3 lead going in to the top of the 9th. It appears as if Alexis Diaz was unavailable, so the Reds went to Lucas Sims. Lucas Sims did not get off to a great start. He walked Christopher Morel on 5 pitches, and he was able to get Cody Bellinger to ground into a force out. And then Dansby Swanson singled, putting runners on the corners. David Bell went to his bullpen again, brought in Justin Wilson. You might remember Justin Wilson claimed off waivers just a few days before the season started, and he got Ian Happ to pop out. Tyler Stephenson made an unbelievable sliding catch in foul territory for out number 2, and then Justin Wilson got Mike Tauchman to hit a weak 70.6 mile per hour ground out. Your Cincinnati Reds win 4-3. Reds now 32-33 on the season. Reds have won 7 in a row. We talked just a minute ago. The Reds did not have a 7-game win streak in 2019, 2020, 21, and 2022. And the Chicago Cubs, they lost their 7th series out of their last 8. Their only winning series was a 2-game winning series against the lowly Chicago White Sox.
And do we have a deep drive of the day? You bet your bottom dollar on it. You bet your bottom dollar on it. And oh my, was it a bomb. Now, I know that the exit velo might not tell the full story here because it's 98.8 off the bat. The distance, though, does do it a little bit of justice here. 378 feet. Came off the bat of T.J. Friedl. That's his 3rd on the year. 3rd. Just the other day, by the way, I don't know if you've been keeping track, but he only had 1. Now we're up to 3. That would give the Cincinnati Reds a 3-1 lead, making their win probability jump up to 75%. And as we all know, it would turn into 100%. The Deep Drive of the Day is sponsored by Deep South Commodities, and DSC is a leader in renewable commodities for biofuel production, specializing in used cooking oil collection, aggregation, and sales. Visit www.deepsouthcommodities.com. That's www.deepsouthcommodities.com for more information. And thank you to John and this winning streak. Boy, oh boy, did we need it. I needed it, Nick. I needed it. Now, what a wild turn of events. I just can't believe we're here this fast. You can't believe it, man. I don't. At this point, I am going to program my brain to really not, and this isn't going to work, but I'm going to try not to overreact until July 1st anymore. On the whole win-loss thing, I'm going to do my best. That is, of course, unless you're the Chicago Cubs. And or maybe the Chicago White Sox as well. Let's just say this. Unless you're Chicago. How about that?
Yeah, I thought the Reds would grind back this year. I thought some of the things that happened would bounce back. Can't say that I saw them going from 20-30 to 32-33. That's quite a leap. But hey, look, this season you had an 8-game losing streak. Yep. You had a 7-game win streak. Basically, you have a 500 baseball team the rest of the time. And if you want to look at it as a whole, 500 record with the injuries the Reds had on offense, with the schedule the Reds had, already getting their big West Coast road trip out of the way, I think overall you have to be feeling pretty good about where the Reds are. Oh, and by the way, the rest of the National League, outside of the Dodgers, Phillies, and Brewers, aren't exactly playing all that well either. So no one's really run away with anything. You have to feel pretty good about where the Cincinnati Reds are here on June 8th.
Yeah, and I think right before we get into old Terry Lee here, and for those that are wondering who Terry Lee is, well, you just got to read a book because it's his name's T.J. Friedl around other circles. But before we get to him, I think the other thing that's like beautiful right now is just the way in which it's everybody. It feels like everybody. And you know, any given night right now over the last 6, 7, 8, 9 days for that matter, because even with the winning streak. Right before the winning streak, it did feel like the tide was turning, Nick. So I don't want to disparage the baseball they were playing a couple days before the winning streak. It's just nice to see guys turn their seasons around to a certain extent, right? Because You wouldn't have been crazy to worry about Candelario a little bit. You wouldn't have been crazy to worry about Will Benson. You wouldn't have been crazy to worry about Jonathan India. And the fact of the matter is that all three of those guys, if we're being completely honest, made a big difference. And the biggest difference, perhaps, of all of it is that we have TJ Friedl back on a daily basis now.
Yeah, I mean, TJ Friedl was a forward player last year. I think that, we made so much of a big deal about Matt McLain being out. We made so much of a big deal about Noelvi Marte being out, and for good reason. I mean, those are really, really good players. But I think TJ Friedl, for some reason, kind of got forgotten, maybe because he's not the sexy prospect. This guy is a great baseball player. He's one of the top 10 center fielders in baseball. He might be higher than that. I mean, this is a really, really good baseball player that just does so many things on a nightly basis to help you win. He's got some serious power. I mean, he's a 20 home run kind of hitter. He gets on base. He plays great defense. He's a great base runner. Just everything you want out of a guy that bats leadoff. Reds missing him going down a couple days before the season started was a huge deal, and he's a huge part of the Reds turnaround. It doesn't really – it makes a whole lot of sense that the Reds turnaround was coincided with Friedl coming back. Now, he's not the only reason, of course, but he's a big part of it.
There's something to be said about like things being contagious. And I do feel like the energy on this baseball team when they have their core, for whatever reason, and I know I know you can't put like a metric on it, and that's the tough part about it, right? It's hard to convince other people of this maybe, but it just seems like, and I still think missing McLain and missing Marte matters significantly. Don't get me wrong, I 100% believe that, but TJ Friedl, you add him into the mix and you start to get the recipe back of what we really had special last year, which was never say die Reds. Now, I know today they didn't really come back, right, in a big way and win, but they have come back of late, and it felt like this is what last year felt like. And TJ Friedl, like it or not, was maybe the most impactful player, and statistically, he was the most impactful player on this team last year. And I don't know why we downplay it. I think some of it's probably because he wasn't a huge, highly touted prospect coming up. That's one reason. And the other reason is I don't think he's like overly flashy in any capacity, but he just plays the game. I don't want to say the right way because that's cliche, but he plays the game hard. He makes the little things happen, and none more so than what felt like the inning in which he got that runner in from third, which we probably will talk about now, which is winning baseball. Like, they find ways to win games as of late. None more so, in my opinion, Nick, than Jonathan India didn't hit the ball overly hard. I'm sure that the analytics would say he's not supposed to get a hit there more times than not. But he's down 2 strikes to lead the inning off. He kind of sticks his bat out there, puts the ball in play, rolls a ground ball between shortstops and third. The third baseman dives, makes a good play, gets up to try to make the play, and throws the ball away. He's now on second base. Will Benson comes up, lefty-on-lefty matchup, Nick. David Bell, by the way, all-star coach David Bell. Don't want to miss out on mentioning his name today. But all-star coach David Bell decided that, you know what, we probably can't pitch hit him now because it's too early in the game. Let's just see if he can't bunt, get the guy over to third, and let's manufacture a run. And he found a way to get a bunt down when he's not asked to do that a whole lot. And then TJ Friedl finds a way to put the ball on the ground, and they go on contact, and they score a run. And that's the difference right there. You see the score, 4-3? That's the difference in the game.
Yeah, and I got the actual concrete numbers here for you. This is the one thing that I think a lot of the analytic community gets so wrong is they're so anti-sack bunt because of we've learned, and I think most people have kind of adapted to the fact that sack bunting early in the game, sack bunting in a tie game when you're trailing is a bad deal. But when you're up 2 runs and you got a chance to make it a 3-run lead, it's a good idea, and especially with where the Reds were. So here's the cold hard numbers here. All right. So the Reds win probability was 84.4% after India singled. After Benson's sack bunt, it went down from 84.4 to 83.7%. So it went down 7%? 0.9%.
Right. It's basically null void. Yep.
Basically nothing. But that is not context related. That is not the fact that It's Will Benson at the plate against a lefty. We know Will Benson has not been able to hit lefties throughout his career. And the next batter is TJ Friedl, a very good contact hitter. So that more than makes up for that point whatever percent that you might lose in the win probability. It was a great play. You don't want to take Will Benson out of the game for a pinch hitter in the 5th inning, because then you're going to make it easier on Craig Counsell later in the game. You can bring in a right-handed pitcher to face Stuart Fairchild, who hasn't hit right-handed pitching well. So this was just a great play. Credit to Will Benson. I didn't even know he could lay down a sac bunt.
Right.
That's the big part of this too. When you lay down a sac, the guy has to be able to actually do it. And these guys, I don't think Will Benson bunted a whole lot in AA and AAA coming up, right? I mean, he was a highly regarded prospect, a guy that has incredible power. So credit to Will Benson for his ability to do it. Credit to David Bell for calling, the play. Credit to TJ Friedl for then capitalizing and driving in the run. And that was a huge play in this game.
It was a massive play. And what it does is it I think there's a lot of psychology in baseball, a lot, just like more than maybe other sports, right? Because you stand around a lot, you feel like the game moves at a slower pace. Now, I know Rob Manfred has done, and again, I don't want to give him all the credit here, but Rob Manfred's made that maybe a little bit of a lesser deal. The games move a little bit quicker. But if you make a mistake or something bad happens in baseball, you very much have to sit on that for an extended period of time. You leave the bases loaded and you strand them with nobody out, Nick. That mentally takes a toll on you as a team. And I guess my point is that getting that runner in from third base with less than 2 outs is just a momentum builder. It kind of feels like, as dumb as this may sound in football from time to time, it's not a 3 and out. It's just a couple first downs. You might not get any points out of it, but you get to kick, you get to punt, pin the other team in good field position. It just keeps momentum, and I think that it's a massive deal. It's a massive deal, and they found a way to do it today, and the Cubs weren't able to do it, and that's the truth. The Cubs hit some balls hard. I'll give them all the credit in the world, Nick. It felt like we were just avoiding disaster, which I'm sure we'll get to here in the back half of this rundown. But and the other thing I'll say, too, is like Tyler Stephenson put a good swing on the ball, too. It just a little bit of bad luck in the other inning there towards the end of the game when they weren't able to get the guy in from third base there with less than 2 outs, and it ultimately ended up in a line drive double play, and that's how it goes if you're going on contact. So, those are the things that you need to do to win, and they did it. So, kudos to them. All right, as always, if you're not going to go down to the ballpark now, then I don't know when you're ever going to go. So, I know sometimes, we're supposed to, maybe promote the other things that are going on in the world, like, the concert series, and maybe you can go to an FC game. No offense to FC. FC is great, I'm sure. Maybe the Cyclones, the what are they called? The Y'alls now? Whatever. But I'm going to tell you right now, if you don't want to go to a baseball game at Great American Ballpark now, then we'll just call it for what it is. You're never going to go. But if you are going to go, there's one place you should turn, Nick. Where should that be?
Should certainly be the Game Time app, because the Game Time app is an authorized ticket marketplace of Major League Baseball that actually makes getting tickets even faster and easier. With killer last-minute deals, all-in pricing, views from your seats, and the lowest price guaranteed, Game Time takes the guesswork out of buying MLB tickets. They have all-in pricing. You can toggle this feature, and it shows you the total up front with no surprise fees at checkout. Lowest price guaranteed, or Game Time will credit you 110% of the difference. Take the guesswork out of buying tickets with Game Time. Download the Game Time app, create an account, and use the code CINCY for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, create an account, redeem the code CINCY, CINCY, for $20 off. Download the Game Time app today. Last minute tickets, lowest price, guaranteed.
Guaranteed. And we already gave mantherapy.org a shout out earlier in the show. So as always, please use that source if you need it, if you need it. And I will just say life is better with you in it. And also, we have some other supers I want to get to real fast. Sometimes there's just the Celtics fan, he's feeling himself now. Remember the Celtics fan? Remember back in the day, the Celtics fan? He was a little upset. You want me to get more excited? I don't know what you want me to do to get more excited, okay? I don't want to say I'm as fired up as I'll ever be. I was doing backflips in an Airbnb just 2 days ago, Celtics fan, so get your head out of the sand. I know you've been watching the NBA Finals, but let's keep it on the up here, all right? Some supers before we get into the back half of this rundown. There's so many supers. I just want to first of all say thank you very much for supporting us on our show. It does, like, I know you guys think, like, oh, we say it all the time. Like, it means a ton, man. It means a ton. 411 in the chat, just absurd. I don't know why. Probably here for Nick. Certainly not for me. But anyways, let's get to some of these supers. Where did I leave off at? Nick Chance said, to those of you who have been there night in and night out, we deserve this. You're damn right, Nick. Yeah, we did. We deserve this one. I don't know if you're talking about the game. I don't know if you're talking about the winning streak. I don't know if you're talking about shows like this, but all of it. We deserved all of it. Anon76 says, fellas, can we do a mental health check on Mr. Mouse, #1 Cubs fan? I think Anon, Mr. Mouse currently is his dad. Fortunately, thank the Lord for his mental capacity. His dad is in the state championship game, and I think his focus is tomorrow, if they're able to win the state championship, that I think it will ease his pain a little bit. It is, of course, until he gets in there into the office on Monday, and I'm sure we'll remind him of how the Cubs are doing. Stacy Meyer says, let's get the brooms out for tomorrow. The June Reds are back. Who's your daddy? Said the wife and I will be at GABP tomorrow for the sweep. Everyone come slam some beers and laugh at Reed and the sorry Cubs with us. Not a bad idea. Not a bad idea. I don't know what the weather looks like, Nick, but I will say I am very proud of our fan base. You know why? Because far too often have I seen a bunch of blue in that ballpark for series like this, and that has not been the case. That has not been the case. And you know what I'm going to say next? I know that you probably already talked about this a little bit. I think that Elly De La Cruz in and of himself makes a big difference when it comes to that aspect of this baseball team. He is a guy that people want to go see. He is a, for whatever you want to call it, if you want to use the term superstar, you can use the term superstar. I don't care what you use, but the fact of the matter is when they come into town or when they're in town, he is a draw. Him in and of himself. The last person I can think of that it reminds me of him a little bit, and I know people might get upset at this, I don't know, but I remember when Fernando Tatis Jr. was just in the league, fresh in the league, it was like, oh, man, you got to go see this guy play. And I remember my son vividly asking me to go see Fernando Tatis. So, you know, the fact that the Reds have that, I've seen all the blank check statements. I'm not opposed to it. I don't know what those numbers ultimately end up looking like, but I'll just say it out loud right now that it would be nice to find some semblance of a foundation this offseason moving forward. All right, sticking into this game, Nick, Andrew Abbott. I'll let you kind of go. You got some, Dad? What?
We need a sound. We do have some semi-breaking news that I think is somewhat important. Carson Spires was just scratched from his start at AAA. Supposed to start at 7:35 tonight. So that seems like a pretty good indicator that he's getting called up tomorrow.
All right. So
maybe not as exciting for anyone but me.
I was sitting here talking about Elly De La Cruz getting extended and all this stuff, and he's like, breaking news! Carson Spires scratched. Woohoo!
Well, okay, when you put it like that, I mean, I'll take my L.
Andrew
Abbott! Andrew Abbott!
No, listen, no, that's what makes the show fun, Nick. From time to time, we got to have some fun, you know? I mean, listen, Carson Spires got a great family. Andrew Abbott, let's talk about him. And by the way, Spires has been good. This is going to turn into, oh, Trace is making fun of, like, I'm not. Okay, I'm not. I'm just trying to have some fun. Just laugh. Make you laugh, you know? It's good to laugh in life. Anyways, Andrew Abbott, kudos to him, okay? But I want to openly admit something that people might think I'm a hater for saying. I thought he was not very good today, and I thought that he kind of felt like the guy that was going around bragging to everybody, and not him specifically, but I'm saying like bragging everybody like he made $400 off a scratch-off ticket. Like that's always going to be a wise decision. Like just because you won $400 on a scratch-off doesn't mean that getting scratch-offs every day is a good idea. Today's version of Andrew Abbott will not hold up, but having said that, he survived, he advanced, he figured it out. But I just want to openly admit that if the Cubs offense wouldn't have missed some pitches that they slightly missed that weren't great pitches, we would have been talking completely different about Andrew Abbott today. And that's okay, because we as fans are allowed to do that from time to time. But I'm just going to openly admit, thank the good heavens above, because it didn't feel like we deserved to win. Simple as that.
Andrew Abbott has had an incredible year. Andrew
Yes.
Abbott has been a huge reason for the Reds' success. He was not good today. I saw all these people saying he grinded through 5 innings. No, he got lucky as hell today. And it's okay. It's
Right.
fine.
Thank
Sometimes you need some good luck because sometimes you're going to have some bad luck as well. But he was not good. I mean, he walked 4 guys at Great American Ballpark. He gave up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 hard hit balls in 5 innings. He wasn't good, but that's okay. He's been great. He'll be better his next time out. But I'm not going to sit here and be like, yeah, he grinded through 5 innings today. Thank you, Andrew Abbott.
Yeah, me and you can give a collective hug together. I don't know if we've ever agreed on something more in our lives. I love Andrew Abbott. He's been great. I've defended him. I've argued for him. And in fact, last year, I remember arguing about how he had a great career in college, and that means a little bit more than high school, blah, blah, blah. Today was not good. It just wasn't. But you know what? Like you said, we survived. We advanced. And it felt like all of the bad luck that Hunter Green would get from time to time in baseball games that I've watched him pitch, he just literally handed it all over to Andrew Abbott for today's outing. That's what happened. So every time you see, and that's the other thing I want to freely admit. This isn't going to turn into a bad show, but can I also say that Andrew Abbott basically did what Hunter Green has done before today, and people just want to rip Hunter Green? I'm not. This is me defending Hunter Green. I'm just saying, if Hunter Green would have went out there and thrown 100 pitches today and only gave up 1 run through 5 innings, and he gave up 7 hard hit balls and walked 4 guys, all hell would have been freezing over. All right? I'm just keeping it 100. We're just keeping it 100 on this show. Just telling you. But it doesn't matter because the Cubs offense was inept, and we move. What do we move to, Nick? We moved to the bullpen. Just as if our all-star coach, I just want to remind everybody, our all-star coach went to the bullpen, and it got a little hairy, got a little dicey, but I don't know where you want to start. You want to start with Sam Moll? Because I think it's fair to start with him. He came in, he got 3, he went 1, 2, 3, and then they handed the ball to Fernando, and I actually thought Fernando threw the ball really, really well, and they actually put some decent at-bats together against him. And then obviously we move forward into the 9th. So where do you want to start with this bullpen as a whole?
Yeah, Samuel, great outing from him. He's pitched very well this year. There was definitely some concerns with his velocity with his shoulder injury when he did get activated, but I think he's kind of put those to bed. Only 3 walks in 12 1/3 innings, 10 strikeouts. If Joe Boyle doesn't turn out to be anything, that's going to turn out to be a really big steal for the Reds. Because remember, Reds have control of Sam Moll through 2027. Which is just wild to think about a guy you got traded for at the trade deadline. That's how, he just barely got in the league almost with Oakland. Moll was great. Justin Wilson, I mean, what a job from him. I know everyone talked about the Tyler Stephenson catch because it was great, but that was a very weak pop out. And then Michael Tauchman, that was a weak ground. I mean, those are really good pitches that induced that weak contact. So shout out to Justin Wilson. I mean, that was a huge spot. What a moment for him. And then lastly, I mean, Sims, the walks are definitely concerning. I don't know what else to say. I mean, you can't walk Christopher Morel on 5 pitches in front of Cody Bellinger. I mean, that's something you can't do if you want to be a high leverage reliever. I have a lot of faith in Lucas Sims, but he's got to be a little better. And then lastly, I'm getting kind of concerned with Fernando Cruz's usage.
What about Emilio Pagan? Before we do Fernando, are you worried about him at all?
Yeah, he was just coming off the IL, so I'm not really going to put a whole lot of stock into him. But Cruz's usage, this guy's not pitched a lot of full big league seasons. I mean, I don't know. I'm worried they're going to run him into the ground before the All-Star break.
Well, we'll see.
But I don't know what else do you do right now? You don't really have a whole lot of choices.
I think it's fair to say right now that you had to have some sense of urgency, a little bit of sense of urgency over the last couple weeks if you're David Bell. So maybe he will taper this off and hope that he can find a way to where he can use him less and less and less. But the difficult thing with Fernando Cruz is he's so good. He's been so good that when you find yourself in a tough spot or a big game or a game in which you feel like is a momentum game, it's hard not to use him. I mean, it's really hard not to use him, especially when you get into his demeanor. You talk about asking guys whether or not they're good or not good before the game starts. Fernando Cruz, where he's been in his career, where he's come from, the perspective that he has, the age that he's not in a mindset where he probably wants to take that many days off, Nick. Like, in my opinion, he kind of feels like he's always looking over his shoulder. He's got a chip on his shoulder, and I don't think he's going to be a guy that's asking for a day off if he's if he's going to David Bell or if David Bell's coming to him, one or the other. I don't know. But point is we'll find out. I mean, I'm not overly concerned about him as much as I am, I guess, Pagan a little bit, just because we thought that he was going to be maybe a little bit better than he's been. But it's early. It is so early. And June 8th seems like, it feels like the middle of July sometimes when we do these shows every single day. But it is a nice reminder that it's only June 8th.
The words have never been true. But also when we get into tomorrow's starters, I think you also will understand why today was important to go kind of more all out.
Yes.
Maybe that's why you're call up Carson Spires tomorrow. Say, hey, tomorrow's gravy. Tomorrow we know this was our toughest pitching matchup of the entire series. Let's try to do everything we can to get a win today because we know our chances aren't great tomorrow. Now, hey, maybe we can steal one. They've done it before. Right. I mean, they won a bullpen game against Tyler Glass now, so, baseball can always happen. But this was definitely a day that was better to go, all out for the win than and even if you have to punt tomorrow, so be it.
Yes, today felt so monumental. And again, we're going to get in tomorrow in just a moment, I'm sure, but it feels like tomorrow now is just such house money. It feels like we're up 4, and I don't know what your units are, but I feel like I'm in Vegas right now and I'm up like $5,000. And if I go out and I lose $750 tomorrow in Vegas after I'm up $5,000, Nick, it's like, all right, well, that was bound to happen, but I just had to test my luck. We're just going to test our luck. We're not going to lay down tomorrow by any stretch of the imagination, but a split going into tomorrow, knowing that a split's on the line versus 3 of 4's on the line it feels incredible. I mean, it feels unbelievable, Nick. I don't know if there's anything else that you wanted to add from today's game before we kind of start getting into the Reds MILB and what's going on tomorrow. But just overall, what a beautiful day of baseball in Great American.
You put all the pressure on the Cubs tomorrow. I mean, all the pressure's on them right now. So that's a good spot to be in. Felt like it was the other way around a couple weeks ago. Nice to be on the other end of this.
Very much so. Very much so. All right. Today is Saturday, which means there's a good chance that not all of the Reds MILB is completely full and finished yet. But as always, Nick will give you the rundown of the Reds MILB presented by Nick Kirby.
All right. Just a couple games that have gone final. On the Arizona Complex League, the ACL Reds, they did lose 3-2, but Sheng-En Lin, another good day, 2 for 4, now hitting 353, 467 on base percentage, 967 on base percentage through 68 games. I know Sheng-En Lin's kind of in a difficult spot, being so young, coming from Taiwan. But I don't know, man. I wonder when they're going to consider promoting him to Daytona. I'd love to be able to get to see Sheng-En Lin play a little bit. This is one thing I really wish the Reds would get some video of guys like Sheng-En Lin playing in some of these ACL games. I know they have some cameras there. Like, that's one opportunity I think the Reds could do to kind of market some of their young players that I think have a chance to be really good players for the Reds down the line. Cole Schoenwetter, Reds 4th round draft pick. Another tough outing from him, though. 3 2/3, 6 hits, 3 runs. He's got a 7.27 ERA, 1.85 FIP through his first 6 professional games. And then we also had the DSL Reds. The DSL Rojas actually played the DSL Reds. They have 2 different teams. DSL Rojas is the team that we're going to pay most attention to because that's the team with the younger players, with the 2 top players that the Reds signed this offseason. Adolfo Sanchez did walk and stole a bag. Nabiel Mariano 0 for 3, but did score a run. Your rest of your Reds MILB, Louisville about to get underway at Nashville. Carson Spires was supposed to start, but got scratched. So I'm assuming that's because he got called up. Hopefully it's not because he got injured. Hopefully it's not because Alexis Diaz is injured, because that also kind of popped into my head as a possibility. Chattanooga, they are at Rocket City at 7:35. Dayton's taking a 1-0 lead on Lansing early. And then the Tortugas, they are up 6-0 over St. Lucie. Sammy Stafura has a hit, and Ariel Almonte already has a double.
All right, I just want to add one here, quick thing before we get into who, what, when, where, and why, and that is basically, I don't want to say just you. Obviously, Craig was a part of this too. I was out and about pretty much running all weekend. So thank you, obviously, as always, to trying to hold the fort down. Thank you to Craig for jumping in here. And thank you to all the people that were reaching out, making sure I was okay. I'm more than okay. I'm fine. Just trying to do multiple things at one time. Not always the easiest thing, but that's here nor there. But I just wanted to say thank you to Nick. I know you're probably running on fumes here, but the good news is that we do have some days off coming ahead. Next week, got a couple days off, so that'll be nice. Nice for you. I've had a couple days off, so I'm feeling fresh, but I know how it can get in the grind of a season, and I just want to say thank you. All right, who, what, when, where, and why, Nick? We obviously know who it's against. We know where it is, and we know probably what it's about, but I maybe share why. Who knows why?
All right, Reds going for a series sweep of the Chicago Cubs on Sunday. Reds have a tough matchup going against the lefty Shoto Imanaga, 5-1, 1.88 ERA. He's nicknamed the throwing philosopher, 5'10", just 175 pounds, left-handed pitcher, throws from a 3/4 arm angle. He was dominant over in the MPB, 3.18 ERA over 8 seasons, signed a 4-year, $53 million plus a nearly $10 million release fee with the Cubs this offseason. Throws 6 pitches, 4 of them more than the other 2, but he has a 4-seamer, split finger, sweeper, curveball, sinker, and changeup. Fastball averages just 92 miles per hour. Started off on fire with the Cubs. He was the NL Rookie of the Month in April. First 9 starts, he allowed 7 runs. That's a 0.84 ERA. Only allowed 3 home runs in 53 2/3 innings pitched. Having said that, his last 2 starts, he's allowed 12 runs, 8.31 ERA, 3 home runs in 8 2/3 innings pitched. So he's matched his total from the first 9 in the last 2. Did, however, have a tough one in his last outing, gave up 4 unearned runs against the White Sox. Seems like that happens a lot to the Cubs where they give up a whole bunch of unearned runs. Obviously, he's never faced the Reds. I also checked. He did not face the Reds at all in spring training. Frankie Montas for the Reds. Montas took a no-hitter into the 7th inning at Coors Field in his last start. Just a brilliant start. 7 innings, 1 hit, no runs, 2 walks, 9 strikeouts. The 9 strikeouts and 7 innings pitched, both season highs for him. Lowered his ERA from 4.60 down to an even 4. Montas has pitched 6+ innings in 3 consecutive starts after only doing so 2 times in his first 8 starts. Montas has also somehow been better at GABP this year. He's got a 3.34 ERA in 6 starts at GABP, only 4.81 on the road. And then this is kind of a wild thought here. Frankie Montas has never faced the Cubs in his big league career. Only 2 active Cubs have faced him. Bellinger's 1 for 3 with a walk, and Yan Gomes is 0 for 4. So, Trace, I'll throw it back to you with this question. I mean, obviously, the Reds have put all of the pressure on the Cubs. This is obviously the one pitching matchup that even coming into this series, you kind of looked at and went, this is by far on paper the most one-sided for the Cubs. I don't really think there's a whole lot of pressure on the Reds. I think if they win, great. If they lose, whatever, you took care of business. But on the other side, if you could send the Cubs out of town getting swept, I mean, this is a team that you're probably going to be fighting for a playoff spot in some form or fashion. I mean, how big do you think it would be just for in terms of what you could do and the damage you could do to the Cubs in their season?
Well, I think you can't get to 12 in a row without getting 8 in a row, first and foremost, right? I think that's number one. Number two is you have 2 different pitchers that have come off 2 different outings, right? One is which I know water finds its level. Everyone's going to say that, but the truth is that Montas has never looked better in a Reds uniform, and for that matter, maybe his entire career. I've not get a chance to see him throw his entire career with a little bit of an asterisk there. But anytime you go into Coors Field and you're talking about no hitters late into a baseball game, that speaks for itself. On the Cubs side, you're right. They have pressure. They're going to come in tomorrow, and they're going to feel the heat of having to at least take 1 from this series. Otherwise, the Reds are going to be put into a spot where I think the belief more than anything at this point, because let's face it, Nick, it's a long season. 1 win here, 1 loss there. It can be overstated. They all matter. I'm not downplaying that, but the truth is that more than anything, it's the belief system that this still, remind everybody, young team has. There's There's a lot of young guys on this team, and I think it's more important for the Reds to win based off of their psychological warfare that they'll probably have heading into the next series, and especially with a couple days off next week. Who knows what happens? But, the Cubs, I'm sure they'll bounce back at some point. Like it or not, they got a decent team, okay? But the Reds, like I said, you can't get to 12 without winning 8. See if they can't find a way to do it tomorrow.
Kick a mother down, baby.
Yeah. I mean, hey, why not? Why not? All right, we got some supers here real quick before we get into the final stage of the show, and everybody knows what that means. We got some pillows and dunks. All right. Trying to find my spot. Chris Ackerman, he says, Justin Wilson was clutch. Great W. Go Red Legs. Big kid show. Broom tomorrow. Because why the hell not? Hell's a place, so I'm going to say that. I'm sure you're allowed to say the other one, Chris. I don't know. Who knows, man? Who's Your Daddy comes in again, says, regardless of what Reed has going on, we all know if roles were reversed, he'd be here trolling. Cubs lose, and he goes Casper. New name, Casper Mouse. Pretty good name. Pretty good name. Something to be said about that. I haven't seen him in here. I do remember there wasn't a long time ago where I had to put him in timeout. 30-minute timeout. Patrick Sharp said, suck it, Reed. I mean, happy 5th super chat, by the way, to Patrick. Pepper Westwood said, 7 straight on my birthday, fireball time. It's your birthday? It's your birthday, Pepper Westwood? My daughter's birthday today. We're doing our birthday party tomorrow. As a reminder for everybody, the stream obviously will be tomorrow night. So I'm not going to be missing my daughter's birthday. But I do hope to come in here. Let me tell you something. I'm going to tell you this right now. If the Reds win tomorrow, even if they lose, I still want you to come here. But if they were to win, if you're not right here, back on this channel at 9 p.m. tomorrow night, you are a square. It's like the 9th green at 9, That's what it's going to be like tomorrow. You think Celtics won't have to worry about me being fired up tomorrow at 9. But this is for Pepper Westwood because he asked for it. Oh, man.
And I'll say this.
Smooth as water, Nick.
I'll say this. My wife's been out taking care of the kids. I just hear them getting home, so I am not about to take a shot. That would be a very poor decision on my part. But I will say, chat, if we get the legs up to 400, which is possible. Gosh. No, we were at like 380 yesterday, and there was a lot of people in here. Get to 400, I'm going to put the link right now. I'm not going to do it on Twitter because that's weird. But I'll post it on Discord. I'll take a shot tonight, and I'll post it on Discord.
Beautiful.
There you go.
400. If you're not in our Discord, join our Discord. Don't know how to do that, but you can figure it out. How can they join Discord, by the way?
It's on the link in the chat.
Yeah. All right. Pin post, whatever it's called.
I don't think I can pin. I did it from my own.
Did I miss any other? Did I miss any more? Hold on. No. All right. We're good. All right, folks. Let's get to the important stuff, which is, as always, a little bit of Nick.
Oh no.
Yeah, it's all right. You'll figure it out one day.
Oh
man.
My gosh. See,
had it right the first time.
Shot right now. Yeah, but it wasn't going. Ooh,
very nice. Good job. Yeah, good job. I mean, that's what we're saying. Real smooth. Not as smooth as that cinnamon whiskey. Not smooth. All right, back in my element. So that means that that thankfully I have all the bells and whistles. I don't have to scramble around and do backflips on random Airbnb mattresses in the middle of where were we at? Dublin or whatever it was, Columbus. Shout out Memorial, by the way. If you haven't been to that, check that out one year. But time for Do a Dunk. I'm gonna have to find this basketball. I didn't prepare well, so I'm gonna go and find this thing. But I just want to tell you right now, we appreciate you. We love you. Like the stream if you haven't already. More importantly, download the podcast. Okay, share the podcast with a friend. Share a podcast with your group chat. Not the group chats that you don't like. The group chats that you're friends with. All right, we all have them. And I just want to say thank you for supporting us in Chatterbox. Love you. Go Reds.